Hello and good morning everyone, and welcome back to my Floramancer world. I'm WINRY. Hope everyone is having a good day. We're here, I just noticed my light levels are on. We're here where we left off on Sunday, where we're going to try to automate the petal apothecaries. And I was struggling with doing the automated water buckets. If you guys remember that. I got that all done. It took longer than it should have. It really did. But, so we've got, I have more to show you over here, but we've got the empty buckets here with the hopper hog. That is because it'll pick them up from the petal apothecaries as they're crafting. Okay, that's how that started. I did have to move the petal apothecaries in one. I'm not going to have this hopper hog bound to a mana pool, I don't think. I don't even think I'm going to have mana in this room, so we'll see. So that it just covered if the bucket fell off to the sides, it would still be able to grab it. So automating water buckets is down here for me. And I did use the same premise that we've been using for like the petal crafting. So this is the setup that we've been using for individual water buckets. If you recall, I did remove the hopper hawk and I'll explain where things are at. But again, if the dispenser has an empty bucket in it, it sends off a signal of 1, and if it has a full bucket in it, it sends off a signal of 2. So using this comparator, we can do different things with it. So that's what this is. I've made it several times before in this world, so you could definitely catch it. But what I needed to do is for it to take a chest, tell me how many buckets of water is in it, and when it didn't have enough for it to auto-craft more, and that's where I was getting stuck. But we got it figured out here. So first, this is where the water bucket falls out, and in my other builds, it's picked up by a hopper hawk in the flower crafting system. Here, it's just going into a hopper into a chest. So that is the chest that I'm reading. And I read the signal here, and I have it stair-stepping up to here, to our Corporea funnel, which has a sign on it somewhere. I know it has a sign on it. There it is. It has a sign on it for an empty bucket. So if the signal is up here, if the hourglass flips over and this isn't red, it'll craft another, it'll pull another empty bucket from almost directly above me here, so it's not far away. And I'm using a red string container instead of trying to put the hopper hawk over there and trying to get my items over there. Red string container is pointed at the dispenser, so it just puts it in the dispenser instead of me trying to use a hopper hawk to put it in there. Genius. I seriously was like, when I thought of this, I'm like, oh hello, yep, can do that. So I do have this hourglass set for 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 20 seconds. But my chest down here is full, or at the level that I want it, which there's plenty of buckets in here to craft plenty of things. So that is that done. Really happy with it. I can't believe it took me as long as it did. But yeah, so we have water buckets, auto crafting for anything we need across the base because it's connected to the Corporea network. So anytime I need a bucket of water, I can get a bucket of water. Okay. Let's get up here. Alright, then the other thing up here that I started playing with, because I'm trying to decide how to do the crafting if I wanted to have a petal apothecary per flower. Like, every time I need to have a separate petal apothecary. I might still do that if this becomes an issue. But I'm not sure if it'll be an issue. So we'll figure that out. So I started setting up, if you remember from last time, this is to make a Hydroangea. And we have all of this stuff in our system now. This is what we needed, and that's what we have now. So we have all of these things in our system. We need to get up our wheat game, though, to get seeds. That's something we need to work on. But we got the petals crafting, we have buckets crafting, we have seeds currently, and we can get a farm up and running for that. So I'm using red string containers, all pointing to that hopper. It doesn't work with crates because crates aren't considered an inventory. Just so you guys know, it only goes to inventories. And if I had a whole bunch of items here, I would probably need more than one hopper. I'm not 100% sure, but it might end up, if it has nowhere to go here, it might bounce up on the top of the Corporea funnel instead. So there's space to add a few more hoppers. I can always move this back to add more hoppers, that sort of thing. But here's what I've been playing with. These are luminizers, and you can use them for person transport. So if I click on it, it sends me up here to this one because that's the one it's bound to. And you can use this to travel throughout, you know, your base, and you can chain them together. I believe the distance between luminizers is like 20 blocks. So you can chain them together and ride them around. They do make wonderful little sounds if you travel distances. They make little whooshing sounds. I'm going to use them for item transport, hopefully, if I can get it figured out. Everything that falls out of this open crate onto this luminizer launcher. When this launcher gets a redstone pulse, it sends everything that's on top of it to the most adjacent luminizer, which happens to be this one. And since this one is bound on top of the Petal Apothecary, it will send everything that's here to the Petal Apothecary. Now, I do not have anything on me to create a pulse right now. I haven't decided if it needs to be an hourglass that's just constantly flipping over to send that pulse, or if I will need to eventually set it for once it knows all of the items have been delivered. I have a wooden button. Where's the wooden button? I still haven't tested that out. I've just been playing with the luminizers, so I thought I'd show you guys what I've been playing with down here. So let's take, for example, let's put that there. And I should have a button up here, don't I? No. Well. Give me you. Let's make another button. I don't know where it went in the process, but let's go here, because there's a redstone line up there. If we send a pulse, there's everything dropped on the luminizer. You see that right there? Everything is stacked there. And then if we send that, it sends it on top of the Petal Apothecary, and poosh, it made a hydrangea and it delivered a bucket to that chest. Wasn't that pretty? Like I said, I just need to get the redstone pulse hooked up to this. Petal Apothecaries output redstone signal. Signal strength of 15 when it has stuff in it, including just water. And a signal strength of 0 when it's not doing anything. So I'm considering trying to figure out how to, when it's busy, send a redstone signal to pause any of the rest of these from running. I'm not sure how to do that, but it has to be able to be done. That's something that redstone can do. I just don't know how to do it. I see you over there. I don't want you trying to find a way over here. Yeah, I don't want you over here. I haven't lit that up over there, clearly. And I think this is good enough that if I had a luminizer launcher here, there'd be 4 on each straight side, because there's 16 generating flowers that I want to automate. I believe there's 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, even better. There's only 13. But I could also make hopper hawks in this setup, because you know you use hopper hawks a lot, running carpus a lot. Hi 4 ounce, nice to see you. So yeah, we've got to set up something like I've been doing for the petals, you know, where you detect a certain amount in a chest. Hi Darkwing. And when you don't have enough, it will do a timer to create more flowers. So that's the next step. And we should grab some blocks for that. I don't need a ton of flowers on hand. I just need enough so that hopefully crafting isn't overlapped. Like hopefully if I set up hydrangeas and endoflames and thermalilies all here in the same one, I'm hoping I can get them set up so that they're not wanting to all craft at the same time. And that is why I would want to be able to pull the signal off of the Petal Apothecary to disable some of the crafting while it's busy. Where was that coming from? Hello? Where are you? How did I get hurt? I don't see a skelly. I don't see... Oh, I don't know. And I don't see a... Whatever. Whatever. So we have automated buckets, water buckets for everything we need. And I can even go to the Corporea Index and request a bucket of water. Let's go throw this one over in our Hydroangeas setup. And we'll grab some supplies, see if we can figure out before the end of the stream how to do what I need to do here. So we're going to need a chest for the completed Hydroangeas. We're going to need some redstone, so let's grab torches, repeaters. Ooh, we already have a comparator, that's good. We're going to need an item frame. You want to play with luminizers now? I actually need this, so give me you back. I'll use you for the item frame. Do that. Let's grab some living rock. Let's see if I already have some. I need slabs and regular. I need to make, there's more slabs. We need a Corporea spark. And I'm going to need a floating hourglass with a slow timer. I think it's 1 mana steel. Yeah. What does the shiny thing on the Petal Apothecary do? Oh, you joined just after I showed that. It's a part of transport. It is item and player transport. It's called a luminizer. Alright, so let's go figure this out. I really want to make a cool way of getting down there, and I don't want to go this way. I'm not sure. There's not much room here. Maybe I'll end up closing that off completely and just have the only way of getting down there is through Petal Hall. Down here, because I will have a hallway over this way. We go through Petal Hall, and then the hallway will be here. So yeah, luminizers for player transport. You right click on, so they're bound together, you right click on one and it'll send you to the other one, which currently I've got it set up for above the Petal Apothecary. Yep, that's what I have so far. I'm gonna need a second hourglass for that, I think, unless I can figure out an alternate method. Alright, so Hydroangeas. We don't have to see this chest, it's not required, so I think what we're going to do actually is start up here and work our way down. We need to send a signal to that, and it needs to be in via a repeater so that it transports the signal. Alright, so then here, let's put the repeater there, and we can do redstone. No, let's do redstone on the same level there. And then come down. So then it's this one. Since we're using half slabs, we can do this. So it goes to here, and then there, and then there. And we'll put an hourglass, like right, well, we need to be able to stack these. We'll put an hourglass here, floating right here on this block so that it sends the signal this way. Because then when it becomes a solid state redstone signal, the hourglass won't create a pulse. Alright, so we could do that. And then that and chest. Item frame. Hydroangea. Corporeal spark, make sure you're close enough to any of these. Yep, you're together. Alright, this is the hovering hourglass for up there. Let's see here. Drop. It's 20 seconds. So there we go. We're dropping stuff. Sending it, crafting it. Woo! Okay, that did exactly what I wanted it to. Now I just need to be able to pick that flower up and put it in that chest. And this one might need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That might need mana. I might need to get mana over here. Okay. Woo, we already have a strength of 1. Okay, so Hopper Hawk, and then we probably gonna have to figure out how to get mana over here. Which means making a new chain this way. And then I think, wow, look at all the stuff over there. I need to light that up. Goodness. I can't even hit anything. Whatever. I'm wondering, since this just needs a pulse, if I can pull the redstone signal from this on top of the funnel and pull it down to here. How do I do that without it making looking silly? And the other question is, it needs to be tileable if I want to put 4 of them here. Yep, now you see me. Well, that's not helpful. Okay. Tileable. Tileable redstone from there to there. Yeah, I don't know how to do that. I have to think about that. Let's make a Hopper Hawk and see if we need to get the mana line down here. If any of you guys can help me figure out how to get the redstone signal down that way, that would be great too. Hopper Hawk. I need redstone root. We're gonna make it floating. So let's do that. And so I need dirt. And a pasture seed and a regular seed. Okay. Let's do you and get the rune of air. 1 rune of air. 2 mystical gray petals. 2 mystical light gray petals. There we go. And then I need to do this first. I was like, why isn't it working? There we go. All right. Yeah, totally probably closing this off. I'm now beginning to really not like this. And so, yeah. All right, we're gonna put it here so that this also works for the next flower that we make. And yeah, it won't reach without mana. So we need mana to increase its range. That's fine. We'll get some mana down here somehow. Okay, so we fixed you. See, because my only thought is to do a repeater, a pulse, an hourglass or something, constantly ticking that. I could do here and then have redstone there, but then I don't know how to get it further down because now this block has got redstone. And this won't work, will it? It doesn't transmit downward that way, does it? Like something like that. Does that work? I don't think it does. I think it has to like torches, inverting torches work, but see then I think I've got the problem of no space. That works upward. Oh, I just triggered it. Doing that. Twice. Triggered it twice. Glad to know it works, though. I don't know. Hi, All-Time Bacon! That's the name of the pack we're playing. We're playing Floramancer. And we're trying to learn some redstone. You know, I might just opt for an hourglass for now and then see if I can figure out how to do this. Like I said, what I would want to do is pull it off of this spot here, because that means all of these have been triggered and they're dropping. So then by the time the redstone got down here, I would hope that it had everything. Ooh, but hoping it has everything and being sure that it has everything. Let's grab an hourglass. Make another one. You can just walk it. Here's the problem with the half slabs though, 4 ounce, is that I want a tileable design to be able to fit 4 flowers there. Yeah, and because I can totally see walking it down, but it's not. It's not gonna work for me. Is there anything new in here? Dispenser, nutrifier, comparator, spoofer, interceptor. What the heck is a red string interceptor? I mean, I kind of understand the corporea interceptor. Container, dispenser, nutrifier, comparator, spoofer. Whenever the block is bound to it is right-clicked by a player, the interceptor will emit a redstone pulse. That's nice, but that's not what I want. Okay. Well, what is... Can I use a comparator, maybe? Because does a comparator just detect a redstone? Can it detect just a redstone? No, its status can be read. Okay, so red string is not the way to go with that. Back to just grabbing an hourglass. And 10 seconds might be good enough delay, but let's do 5. And if I can figure out actually how to send a pulse when everything is there in another method, we'll do that. But for now, that will fire every time. Now we need to get mana down here, which I didn't want to have mana down here, but it looks like I'm going to have to anyway for the Hopper Hawks. So we get to go through that fun. And once we've done that, we will have a working Hydroangeas system that will then be able to change what we have up here to just request from the corporea instead of crafting it over here. I want to get a mana pool if I have one. And I'm out of sparks, so we need to make some. Might be kind of low on blaze powder. I've not gone to the blaze farm in a while. That. 2 mystical white petals. And white just because. Alright, so we have that and that. What's the range? that it will detect a mana pool. We're gonna have to have more than one mana pool is what I'm trying to wonder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 just to get to the middle. That's likely way too far. So we're probably going to need more than one mana pool for these Hopper Hawks. I'm going to guess one per side. So if we put it here, because it'll be flower, 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 flower. And then we'll need a dominant spark on each of these. But then our next step, guys, is moving mana down here. Oh, we already have it starting to go that way. How far does it go that way? Just one step. Oh, it's gonna have to go more than that. Okay, so we'll be making it go that way a little bit further. And then it'll have to come down. Okay. In the meantime, we're just gonna grab some mana in a tablet and fill that pool a little bit. Okay. And all right. Get that in there. We'll bind you to that. And so now the range should be higher. Why are you out to the Petal Apothecary? Just barely. So if it falls there, we're screwed. Alright, we're going to fix that. And the only way to fix that is to move this forward. So, yep. We'll move it forward too. That does mean it will make more hydrangeas, but I am not concerned by that. Uh-huh. All right. Okay. Better. Covers that whole side. I can just do that too. So this is going to be a pretty full chest. Which is okay, because we'll also be using these. The reason I'm starting with Hydroangeas and Endoflames is because eventually we'll be able to use these for the Rafflesia. So the Rafflesia eats placed generating flowers in order to generate mana. So yeah. I've got to be able to make Runes of Earth and Runes of Pride yet, and automate the portal to Alfheim, but we will be using these for 2 setups, these and the Endoflames, so I'm not concerned with having several more than I expected. Yeah, I think this is technically all done. Can we see it just running? Other than actually getting the mana line down here to fill that pool all the way. we should be able to see this function. I can't get it all in frame. Let's try. Okay. Okay, so that's been delivered, and now it's been sent and crafted and picked up. There it goes, it just got picked up. And there they're being placed again. And they're being sent and crafted and picked up. Woo! Fantastic. Does what I want it to do. And we do need to go get some more seeds, because otherwise I don't think I'll be able to make enough Hydroangeas to get the mark that it needs. I have a feeling this distance is like 5 stacks of Hydroangeas. So yeah. I also believe by now, well, pretty soon, we should be crafting those buckets. Maybe not. Hi. Yeah, be careful that the lower hop, whoop, that hopper hawk doesn't flip in the middle of crafting. But I'm wondering if that would really hinder anything until I get more than one flower, where I really need to figure out how to send the pulse, how to control the pulse of these when this is busy, it shouldn't do it, sort of thing. Right now, this is doing okay, but I understand what you're trying to say too. Which is why part of me was like, maybe I should just put the do an individual petal apothecary per one, and then I wouldn't have to do this luminizer stuff. I like this luminizer stuff. I just haven't decided if this is, because I'm going to have a whole bunch of luminizers in here then, and I'm just not sure. Because the other thing I could do is just put you there. I know it's sparkly, but I can use this in other methods too, because this is something I was thinking about doing for the rune as well. The rune crafting. So, I mean, I could totally do it for that. Hello. Well, that's a problem. We'll have to fix that. This won't reach now. Now it will. I had 3 luminizers. Why do I only have 2 now? Where did it go? Whoops. Oh, it's right there. There we go. So yeah, I mean, this requires no redstone to make the delivery happen. So there's that. Yeah. All right. Let's go make sure we have enough seeds for this to continue making us stacks on stacks of Hydroangeas. And then what we'll end up doing is doing a Corporea funnel. A Corporea funnel with an hourglass on it here somewhere near the Random Carpus, so that it will just request. We might move this mana spreader up if possible. I don't know how far away these need to be. In any case, yeah, we'll just put the corporea with the hourglass, requesting every 5 minutes when these expire, instead of having this setup, and I'll get rid of this setup here, because it won't be necessary. Alright, it's our wheat grown. We have some wheat grown. I have done some work over here I'd like to show you guys while I'm here. And my potato farm is inefficient. We'll just start with that. It is inefficient. And I can explain to you what's going on. I don't know if I'm going to fix it or just leave it inefficient. Let's switch to creative just so I can fly. As you can see, there's a lot of empty blank spots. And that is because it's harvesting before some of these are fully grown. And it's not harvesting the full crops. The drum isn't harvesting, pulling the full crops up. It's leaving them to grow. So when it's leaving them to grow, the dispenser keeps the potato. It's not spitting it out. So these ones that have that are blank have potatoes in them. Yeah. So I don't know what to do about that other than to increase the agri-carnations. I've got 8. I could do 4 more on this row and see if that helps. Increase the time. I don't remember what I have this at. 18 minutes? Yeah, that probably needs to be longer anyway. But that's what I have currently going on with the potato farm. It has made me 43, almost 44 stacks of potatoes so far. And I decided to pick up the poisonous ones. We can always convert them to regular ones. So, yep, need to tweak this a little bit, figure it out, but it is producing. And so, yeah, I'm going to continue that. I have set up when they are full, does the drum harvest them all at once? What do you mean when they are full? When they're fully grown? Yeah, the drum gets pulsed and it harvests. A drum can do 32 fully grown crops. And that's the max it can do. So I have 1 per layer. I have 1 there, 1 up there, and 1 down here. So I have, and if all of these are grown all the way around, there's 32 crops. So that to me is efficient. It's just that if they haven't had enough time to fully grow, they're not being harvested. They're still growing. And then the potato sits in the dispenser. And then it fills up with potatoes in the dispenser. And since the dispenser does a randomly output, it randomly picks one to spew out. It's just going to collect potatoes unless it luckily picks this one to plant. So I have that to figure out. I could just wait until these are chock full of 9 stacks of potatoes. And then it would always work. No, I'm pulsing once and just sending 3 mana bursts. So there's 3 around the pool up here. And then over here, I've set up another one. This is a mini farm for beets, carrots, and netherwort. And I have a similar problem over here. I don't have any agri-carnations over here yet, but you can see the same problem is happening, that it's hanging on to stuff. So I need to work on that. They need to be fully grown before I run a harvest. Is my setup the same as yours? And here I was thinking I was unique. No, I'm kidding. I've seen yours, but I wanted to do a bigger setup, stack it. I I just think my problem is that I need to lengthen the time so that they're fully grown before they harvest. That's the flaw in my system currently. 18 minutes is not long enough. Let's fetch some more soul sand. Let's increase that to 30. And then I'll have to go around and take out all of the potatoes in the dispensers. There we go. Now we've got it at 30. And yeah, getting around to all these dispensers. I will probably do that on my own between streams because I can go around this one just fine. It's clambering up to that one and walking around and then going around over here to this one and walking around and clearing them out. Excuse me, I can take care of that later. But anyway, in this setup, I don't know how long my timer is. I probably need to increase that as well, but is it triggering soon? No. Okay. To get mana over here, I had to run a chain here. So there's a mana chain. I had to even lift it a little bit because I didn't want it down in that area. It goes to here, and then I also have it turning that way, and this is where I had to raise it just a touch, and it goes that way. I would prefer to keep it on the same Y level just so I know, hey, this Y level is where you might encounter your mana conduits type of thing. But I raised it because the stairs walk right into it, and until I move the stairs, which I totally can do once I figure out what the heck I'm doing with all this stuff, and we need to decorate walls and make things look nicer, that's where it is. But in order to get mana over here, I had to do that. So there's mana over here. You want to see my redstone. For what? For which? You're going the wrong way. I know why it's doing that though, but... For my mana conduits? Potatoes. Oh, haha. Okay. Switch back to creative mode so I can show you that. Up here. I have a drum of the wild here and for each level. My hourglass now is 30 minutes and I have redstone firing all of these. And then I have 2 repeaters going into a block, and these are set to 4 ticks each. This block comes out here? Yeah. Comes out to one of these. It's one of these blocks that the redstone repeater goes into. So it already hits this line. And then I have it going up, chained up to this level. And then I have it chained down to this level. Okay. And I have some repeaters to continue the signal around all the sides. This was part of my testing as to why it was getting empty. Is there a break in the redstone that goes around the funnels? There is over here, so that it doesn't go make a circle. No, it doesn't connect in a circle. This side, I don't have redstone in this corner. because I thought that would definitely be possibly causing double pulses or something. So didn't do that. So that is how my redstone is set up. Like I said, I need to craft some more aggro carnations, but they're, as you know, they're not a cheap flower to craft. So, but I could put 4 more up here and get that set up in here. I want to make things look pretty. I've been really working on functionality and mechanics a lot, but I really would like to spend some time making things look pretty. These hallways have needed some kind of decoration for the longest time. Well, does the drum harvest crops that aren't complete, that aren't fully grown? I'm wondering if that's a limitation specifically coded in the drum. Oh, does it? Everything, even though it's... I don't know, but that's the only thing I can figure out then, if that's the case, if it does harvest it no matter what. It's getting a redstone signal. It's just skipping some, but I've noticed it only skips the one that aren't fully grown. If I can get it to be a bit more reliable, I'd be happier, but right now, this is what I've got. Oh, I might need more drums. True, I might need more drums. To do more drums, I might do a turntable. If I did a spreader turntable. Drums of the Wild, Darkwing. Drums of the Gathering are what I'm using for my sheep. Hey, 4ounce, have you seen my Spectralis setup? While we're just showing stuff off here. I did it this weekend. I don't have a Spectralis spade yet. But we did all the wool gathering. Am I flying still? Yep. This is my Spectralis setup. So this is the wool gathering that I've got with underflow protection. It's currently not configured, really. It's just harvesting. My Drum of the Gathering's up there in my sheep farm. And so all of these are detecting whether or not I have enough wool to run one process of the Spectralis. And then over here, I did like what the Gyms does. And this is how it sends the wool to the flower, which the flower will sit right here. And the open crate will drop them in the right order, and it starts here and it goes this way and then goes up over this way and then up over this way and up over this way. So each of these sends to a hopper at the end of the line, and the hopper at the end of the line is into another red string container, which all drops into that open crate one at a time. So so yeah, I like this setup. I will be doing this for other auto crafting and whatnot. I'll be set because I like these, and it's cheap on iron, which you've been using a bunch of hoppers 4ounce. So that's something I couldn't afford, all those hoppers. These red string containers are cheap. They're dropper and living rock and a redstone, a red string. But yeah, so they all send to one hopper, and the reds, all of these are just repeaters into the blocks behind the corporea funnels, and all the repeaters have a 4-second delay, so it's not fast. My red string recipe, red string. That's my red string recipe. I think it's the same. I told you, you should watch the gyms. I have no clue what the difference is with the one with the pumpkin and one without the pumpkin. No idea. No idea. And like I said, this still isn't fully functioning. Currently, these are working in that if there is not enough wool, let's take... Oh, my inventory is really full of garbage. Well, if there was not enough wool in here, it would turn this torch on, which would turn this light on, this redstone line, which would keep the cycle from pulsing. So this is the pulse to say, send all the wool to the spectralist in the right order. Send all the wool, and it goes into this block here, which starts the cycle. I do want to change this slightly and maybe move this hourglass over here. Or I need, instead of having it turn this line on into here, because it will send another pulse through the system when it doesn't have enough wool, I need to be able to break this. So it needs to be a block that moves in and out. And it should be here in this place when it can be running, and it needs to be moved out when there's not enough wool to run. So that's really what I need to do there to break that redstone line, so that it doesn't send a pulse when it runs out of mana, or when it runs out of wool. Instead, it will just turn off with a block. So I need to set up a piston block retractor thingamajigger. That's something I get to learn too. But yeah, that's my Spectralis setup, and the sheep farm is, you know, your basic sheep farm. And again, these hallways, I need to do them all nice and pretty. There's my sheep farm. I have this turned off right now, by the way. I took the sand out of the hourglass, I believe. I just was concerned of running out of wool. Like if my sheep were slow at eating and I ran out of wool while it was... I didn't want to have it just wasting wool, because the Spectralis flower will just eat the wool and not produce mana if it doesn't get it in the right order. So I wanted to have a shut off. And this is actually something similar to what the Gyms did in his... And he's the one that has really helped me understand red string and some basic redstone, and this setup is totally his. So, yeah. Petal apothecary stuff, that's all me. I've been trying to figure that out myself. He never automated the petal apothecary in his series, so... I don't think I currently have... I have... Yeah, I would like to get the Spectralis running. My concern with the Spectralis right now is that I don't have the rune stuff. So, the Rune of Winter with cake. I don't have this stuff set up. So we're working towards that. You know, we'll have to bulk craft some of these just to get some mana going, that sort of thing. But that's why I have the wool harvesting turned off, because I have the setup, and now I just need to get to being able to make the flour on at least a bulk basis, which means I need a bunch of cake. And I don't have a chicken farm, and I don't have a cow for milk harvesting yet. So yeah. Anyways, we have Hydroangeas crafting, and I need to switch to this. Let's turn these into some more seeds. And are we out of seeds? Is my setup already broken? That's possible. It's possible I already have it broken down there. I'll need to go look at it real quick. Yep, so broken. Alright, let's chuck these in here for now. Okay, let's put these where they belong. You shouldn't be making any more of these. It should be off. Yep, it's got a signal strength of 4, so it'll be off for a while. Alright. So I made 5 stacks of seeds. That should be okay for the moment. Like I said, seeds are kind of necessary. How far are we? We're still only at... Oof. That's going to be unfun. Well, you know, now that I've moved this, I can move it back. Now that I've moved the petal apothecary so that it can reach the flowers, I can move it back 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5. I do not have any knowledge of redstone PCB other than that it helps you more finely tune control what the redstone is connected to. Okay. Moving ya, moving ya, moving ya back 1, 2. Okay. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, let's see how that works for a while. We can still move it back 2 more if necessary. And figure out how to shorten that line. Like I said, this needs to be tileable, so it needs to be in a line. But, yep. This will just keep going for a while. And we should be good to go. I need to put the petals back in that were goofs. But, there we go. We have Hydroangeas. Woo! Next up, wheat farm. We need seeds before I do more flowers. I would like to get the endoflames automated as well, of course, because they're just petals. So those 2 I won't need runes for. But we're going to need to get a wheat farm running so we can get seeds for this. But I think that will be what we work on Wednesday, tomorrow. We'll work on that tomorrow. So I hope you enjoyed the morning grind. Have a good rest of your day, folks, and I will see you tomorrow evening. Take care. Bye.